presented by DraftKings. I'm Ros Logan, and that's my girl Logan Hackett. Logan, how are you? Great to see you.
I'm good. How are you?
Girl, I had the cutest day yesterday, Monday night in Miami at Unrivaled. It was my first time going to Unrivaled and not working like the game broadcast. It was my first time pulling up as a fan. It was so fun. Actually, I got lucky. I had no idea. Monday night was the first time that they unveiled their player jerseys. So you
It
could
looks
buy.
good on you.
Oh, thank you, Bo. Am I modeling? No, but it was really cool. Like every single team's jersey was lined up, and there were multiple of all of them with every single player's name and number. So you could literally buy your favorite player's jersey. It was really awesome. I picked out Rose. My name's Roz. I like Rose. I thought the color schemes would be easy to match. Camo. Also, I got the Angel Reese joint, so shout out to Angel. But it was such a cute night. I went to Fan Fest. I won a shooting game. And then the actual experiencing the arena itself was so cracking. I caught a historic night. Girl, I hope you were watching. Did you see Brittney Griner with the first ever dunk in Unrivaled history?
I did, and it was all over my feed this morning. Absolutely love it.
I don't know what's crazier. The fact that this was not a running start dunk. It was in the action of the flow of offense in a half court set. Really nice pass, really great finish. But maybe it's even crazier that the very next play she comes down and hits a trail three-pointer. And the whole place went crazy. The dunk was but then to come back and double down and hit the three, it was people were standing up and yelling. And it was such a time. I had a cute little night, girl. Are you coming out here?
I will be very soon, and I'm so excited, and I cannot wait to go to Unrivaled because everything that you've said and then everything you're seeing online and the fan perspective,
yeah,
it's something that you cannot miss.
Totally. And we'll also get you a chance to pick out your jersey. But we've got so much to talk about in today's show. So for all the viewers at home, this is what you've got coming today. First of all, we've got an exclusive sit-down one-on-one interview with WNBA vet of the Mystics, of the Rose, Slim. Our girl Slim, Brittney Sykes, joins the show today for an exclusive sit-down interview. I'll be talking with her. Then we've got to talk Unrivaled playoffs, Athletes Unlimited, crowned a champion. We'll be talking about that. College hoops conference championships. Oh my God, March Madness is here. Oh my gosh, the Caitlin Cark effect. It is continuing. She is putting butts in seats, all the things. And of course, the NWSL has revealed some kits. We'll take a look at those. So we've got an awesome show for everyone, Logan. Remind the people, when do we drop?
Every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time.
All right. I think we did all the business up top. You ready to get into the show?
I am absolutely ready, and I want to start with Caitlin Cark because she had a pretty quiet offseason, didn't play in any games or leagues, as a matter of fact, and there weren't a lot of headlines, but with the WNBA season on the horizon, of course the headlines are back because teams are already moving their games against the Fever to larger venues. And then a Fever preseason game at Iowa sold out in 40 minutes. Mind you, that's 15,000 seats. And I actually saw some people saying that there might have been a little inside access because when they went to get the tickets, they were completely sold out already.
Not insider trading.
Yeah, right? Maybe it was just for Iowa people. I'm not too sure. But everyone wants to see Caitlin Cark. The Caitlin Cark effect is back. And I'm really keen for her to go into her second season. So do you think that she'll meet the moment? Or, I don't really know what else she could do other than meet the moment, but what do you think will happen with her?
Yes, I do think Caitlin Cark is going to meet the moment. And I think Caitlin Cark mania and fever or Clarkonomics, whatever it is they're calling it, I think it only gets bigger and better. Health willing, of course. But I think part of it is, there'll be less resistance this season. And I think that's just because naturally as the seasons go on, the body of work begins to build itself up. And what comes with that is respect, and hopefully this season, I hope that the conversation moves and the focus moves away from everything that isn't ball. There was so much conversation about gratitude for Caitlin or race and, tension in America, all this and that. And it was at some point exhausting for all sorts of fans, no matter what sides or beliefs you had. And I feel like this season, we'll have the opportunity to see her physically stronger, mentally rested, better improved. She has a squad and a team of real weapons around her now, real vets who can support her, who can lead her at times. She's got a really great coach coming in. I think she's got everything she needs to be successful. And I hope this season that the way we're discussing Caitlin is about the game and the production. So that means that we can be talking about how she's meeting the expectations, how she's exceeding the expectations, and also have critical conversations about the moments where she isn't living up to the expectation, just as we would for a Victor Wembanyama, just as we would for a Jason Tatum. Like, I think that's the evolution of the conversation, not only around Caitlin Cark, but just women's basketball on a whole. So I'm excited for season 2 of Caitlin in the WNBA.
So am I, especially given the players that she has around her. I mean, we talked about it, I believe, a few episodes ago, but I think the Fever can really do something special, and they are set up to do something special rather than last year. It was all eyes on Caitlin, maybe her connection with Aaliyah Boston, some other players coming in. Now you have the team around her. So if they're double teaming Caitlin, or if Caitlin's the main focus, other people are popping off. And I think it could honestly be a historic year for the Fever.
I'm excited for Caitlin Cark year 2. I know those 15,000 fans who bought those tickets in 40 minutes are excited. But it makes you think about the future of women's basketball, even after Caitlin and where we are right now. Do you think that there's any other players, specifically college players, who can replicate this kind of fandom in the way that we see for Caitlin Cark, Logan?
I honestly don't think so. And I've been thinking about this a ton recently, and it brought me back to a few years ago, or maybe it was last year, year before, I'm not too sure. I was in the back, like the depths of hell in Adelaide, Australia, doing some like wine tour I did not want to be on. And there were a group of guys, maybe in their 20s. They were talking about Caitlin Cark. Like, she was all the way in the boonies of Australia. So I don't think it can honestly happen. And I think it's because her staple is literally a logo 3, which we have not really seen that often. I mean, hitting a logo 3 is huge for any player, but she was doing it back to back to back games. And that was her trademark. What other player can you say has that type of trademark? And that's where kind of the star and all the eyes on her came from. And especially considering it's kind of how she built her demographic, her fan base, everything. I don't see it. Do you?
So I do think there's some players that will generate that kind of fandom. I do think, to your point, like the logo 3s, the no-look passes, her style of play, how she shows up in big moments, that is generational and exciting. And I do think, like, full stop, the level of eyeballs, butts and seats, money being spent, and attention around Caitlin Cark, there is a gap for like everybody else in women's basketball. So like full on respect for what she is doing. But I think there's other players. I think a healthy Paige Beckers has aura. I think Juju Watkins can be that, just continuing to have team and individual success. I think that in the WNBA right now, I did want to point out, I think there's one player who's not at the same level, but also a big time draw. And I would say Angel Reese. I don't even know why. I don't even really truly know what my affiliation is to her, like what my personal draw is. But when I had to make a choice on where I was going to spend my one jersey purchase on, it ended up being Angel Reese. So I do think that like there's other players who are big draws who captivate you and make you want to spend money, and want to see them.
Absolutely. But actually, with you mentioning Angel, I want to touch on the Rose game against the Laces, which was definitely the one to watch on Monday. I mean, they were picked to finish last, and the Rose clinched the playoff spot with their win. So you made a prediction back in episode 1, which I want to bring up just for a second. Who do you think is winning this year? Who's the 2025 champs?
I got the Rose. There's a lot of space and islands in a 3-on-3 basketball situation. So you got to have somebody who can like create their own space, create their own shot. They got players like that. Chelsea Gray, Kalia Copper. You also got a nice combination of defenders. Brittney Sykes, Lexi Hull defends. You got size, Azare Stevens. You got Angel Reese. And I think Angel's tenacity, I happen to watch a couple of games. They can't keep her off the glass. All of that, combined, I think makes them a championship contender.
Damn. Boop. That was so absolutely on point. And actually, I think my answer to that question was the Laces. So here we are. Your answer was obviously a lot better and more well-rounded. And you have quite literally predicted the future. But as of now, what is so dangerous about both of these teams heading into the playoffs?
Yeah, well, I called that the Rose, would be a really good team. I picked them as my favorite. They didn't start that way. So like, look, it's easy to now, point out the moment, oh, I was right. But at first they struggled. They've now won 6 of the last 7. And they've clinched the second playoff appearance after the Owls. And so this is a team that is being led by Chelsea Gray. She's their MVP. She's playing out of her mind. We're also seeing great offensive improvement from Angel Reese. I said nobody can box her out. She's going to rebound. Yeah, she's owning the glass. But bigger than that, she looks a lot more poised on offense. And Lexi Hull is a worker. So this team is coming together at the right time. What are you seeing?
Actually, with your mention of Lexi Hall, that is the biggest star in my eyes. I mean, you have the connection between Chelsea and Angel, which is absolutely incredible. Like, I hope one day they can end up on a team together because that would be absolutely insane. But with having those star players, you need a key role player and someone to hold it down. And Lexi Hall has been doing an amazing job at that. I mean, you look at the stat sheet and it doesn't really reflect there. And she's not necessarily hitting all her shots. I think she does have to work on her 3-point, but she is holding it down on defense and one of the hardest workers that I've seen. And with that, I'm actually really curious to see how she brings that into the W with the Fever and having Caitlin to kind of have to guard around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Hull Island, you've heard they said that? So she's just a worker. She's going to cut and move without the ball. She's going to crash and try to attack the glass. She's going to work hard on defense. And you know where you learn to be a great full-bodied player like that? At Stanford University. Boom! Yeah, Lexi, go card. but I also want to point out another team, and I want to point out the Laces, who right now are sitting outside of the playoff top 4, and their record is deceiving. If this team in the Laces can manage to find a way to squeak into the playoffs, they are dangerous. Don't look at that record because they were strong to begin with and they got tripped up. Everybody got hurt. The entire team was injured and then all relief pool players. And now everybody's back. And all of those healthy players that are back, Alyssa Thomas, Jackie Young, Tiffany Hayes, and of course, Kayla McBride. Those are some veteran dogs, buckets, experienced assassins, two-way players, defensive stalwarts, tough. Like, they can compete with anyone. So if they get in there, they are a dangerous wild card.
You know what? One of the teams that absolutely was not impressing me whatsoever was the Mist at the beginning of the season. They started 2-7 and just were not looking good. We were even questioning like, what is going on with this team? But now it does not look like they're slowing down after going on a 3-game win streak. So with that, like the other teams, do you think they're coming together at the perfect time?
Yeah. The team you wanted to be was a March team. You wanted to be ramping up and improving at this time of season. Shout out to Coach Phil Handy, who has had this team improve collectively, and he's worked really hard with each of those players individually. And you're seeing that pay off. You're seeing from a veteran player like Courtney Vandersloot, who at times is leading the competitive fire for this team. Or you're seeing the individual improvement and the increase of joy and engagement over the entire body of a game from Jewel Lloyd. And that was something she was working on. Not busting out for 20 straight points. No, just over the course of the whole game, playing with joy and making contributions. So her improvement. But everything the Mist is doing is anchored by Breann Stewart. Breann Stewart is what makes them go. And let's look at some highlights of Stewie. Because she's been in this 3-game winning streak for the Mist. She's been a huge part of it. Stewie is one of the best players in the world, and she's been doing a great job at Unrivaled, getting to the rim, getting to the basket, attacking off the bounce, playing with her back to the cup, running her lane. She's got all these different moves, counter moves for counter moves. But what impresses me most about Stewie, you're talking about one of the best players in the world who's so willing to do the dirty work. Like, she is on the glass. She's in there making things, gritty things happen. She's top 5 in total points, total assists, total rebounds. She's number 2 rebounds per game. And when she crashes the glass, a defensive board, she can get it and go and impact pace. An offensive board, she can get a foul. She'll get to the free throw line. Like, Stewie makes great things happen on the court. And she just got a lot of heart.
You had a conspiracy a few episodes ago with Fee and Stewie and them like manipulating things. Imagine if this is just the manipulation. Like maybe they wanted to start not so good at the beginning of the year. Maybe they'll come back and win it all. Who knows? If they do, it might add to that.
I mean, we are literally just living in their world at this point. And I'm like this eating popcorn. I'm like,
Yep.
oh my gosh.
But y'all, coming up, Ross sits down with WNBA and Unrivaled guard Brittney Sykes, aka Slim, and I know y'all are gonna love it. So we'll be right back.
Hey, what's up, good follow? This is Ros Logan, and I am coming to you live from Miami at the Unrivaled campus. And we have in person here from Team Rose, from the Washington Mystics, my girl, Slim, Brittney Sykes.
Yes.
What's up, Brittney? What's going on?
I'm chilling.
Yeah, you always chilling.
I mean, I think it's kind of like the East Coast thing in me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just laid back. People think I'm from Cali because of the way I dress.
Yeah.
Then I open my mouth and they're like, you're from the East.
From the East Coast.
Yes.
You know what? I'm from New York, and I can't tell. Sometimes people can't tell that. Am I giving New York vibes?
Nah. I wouldn't have thought New York. I honestly would have thought Cali, too. But I don't know, it might be a little biased because that's where I saw you at. So
Exactly. We lined up during your stop with the LA Sparks, so I really got to know your basketball game and career there. Before we actually talk about like basketball stuff, one of the things we're doing right now is setting intentions.
Okay.
Okay. And you know, anybody who watches our show at Good Follow, you know one of the words that I've been holding on to in 2025 has been the word soft.
Okay.
What is a word or a phrase, something that you would hold on to as an intention for the rest of, you got Unrivaled season, you got WNBA season.
Yeah.
What's your intention?
Gratitude, for sure.
Why?
It's crazy you bring that up because I kind of set that intention a little bit before the new year to basically show gratitude and give myself grace for like where I am. Like, you know, the whole saying, be where your feet are. I think gratitude allows me to stay there. Sometimes I can get a little spread out with what's not happening, and I'm not realizing that what is happening is what's best for me right now. So for me, it's gratitude for sure. Just being able to tell people like, hey, I appreciate you. Or, you know what, God, I'm thankful that I am where I am right now. And yes, I might not be where I want to be, but I'm grateful for what I have and, you know, and focus on that and not what I don't have. So,
I completely feel that wholeheartely. And actually, we're here right now in Miami at Unrivaled. I mean, like, why was this the right place for you to be right now?
Yeah, for me, I had a pretty rough season last year. My foot, just getting back to it and then getting hurt again and sitting out longer. It was one of those things where I just wanted to take the time to, like, get myself right. And I don't think it was the physical that was most, like, hard for me. It was the emotional, it was the spiritual, it was the mental. Like, I feel like as an athlete going into my 9th year, the physical is not, that's the easiest part of my job. I think now it's getting into that, okay, when things aren't going right with my body, like, how do I emotionally respond? How do I physically respond? It's okay, but the emotional and the spiritual, that's the parts where I'm starting to realize going into that, you know, that part of my career is like, hey, that's the part where I need to be most consistent at because I've dominated the physical. Like, it's like, what can I do to prolong my career another 9, another 10 years? And I feel like it's going to be in that aspects and those.
You're in an interesting spot, too, because you are a productive veteran, especially when you're healthy.
Yeah.
And obviously you want to be a part of a team that contends, but you're in a tough situation with Washington where it was a rough year last season for injuries, for all the reasons. There's a whole lot of new right now from the top down
oh my gosh,
with the Mystics. So what are you most excited about?
I think just, it could be scary with unknown. You know, like, and I used to be a person who become very fearful or like hesitant when I don't know what's going on, and that's where faith comes in. And I believe that Washington took the proper steps to put who they put in the positions that we have now with our GM and Jamila, our head coach and Sydney Johnson. Like, I love them both. I got to sit down with them a couple times out here in Miami, and you know, I think that we're headed in the right direction. Things get bad, but usually when things get bad, that means it's right around the corner from turning, you know, a new leaf. And things got to get ugly sometimes. And for us, that's what happened last season, and it is what it is. But I will say, throughout all of that, though, we stayed together. Like, nobody kind of, like, pointed fingers. Like, it was never none of that. It was just like, all right, y'all, we just got to figure this out together kind of thing. So I could be grateful for that.
Speaking of other players, the cool thing about Unrivaled, you're on Team Ros. You get to kind of mix in with players who normally are sometimes your opponents.
Yes.
You might have seen them around at different stops and stints in your career, but who are some of the players on Team Ros that you've really enjoyed either having the opportunity to spend more time with?
Yeah. I mean, all of them. Honestly, I can't really pick one person on the team. I will say one person that I was like, oh, man, like, I'm actually glad we get to be teammates. It's probably Lexi.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm a very observant person. And it's like Lexi was always on Indiana. She did her job. She harassed me when she had to guard me. Like, so it was pretty cool just to, like, just talk to her and communicate with her without being opponents.
Right.
You know, it's always like, I'm coming for blood when I see you. And now we sit next to each other in the locker and we cracking up.
What's interesting, though, is you guys are both making names around the defensive end of the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you are, you know, already solidified as one of the great defenders in the W. She's an up-and-coming player.
For sure.
You know, in Indy, they were calling her Hull Island.
Ah,
Did you hear that?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that in practice.
She's putting people on island.
I'm going to use that.
With her being younger and stuff, like, what would you express to her it takes to really be an elite defender at the pro level here?
Man, I mean, I think she kind of already got it. Like, she's kind of carving her way to it. And I think it's just, like, having that demeanor, just unfazedness, if you've not seen the word. Like, she's just unfazed when you guard her. She doesn't make a face. She plays hard. She's in your She does not care if she's annoying you. I think, what game was it? I forgot who team we played here. And me and Lexi were on the court together. And she was guarding Skylar. So it was the Owls. She was guarding Skylar. And I think I had Courtney or somebody. And she was just, like, harassing her. I was like, yes. Yes. I ain't got to be the only one to do it.
It's hard to guard Sky. She puts pressure on the rim all the time.
And Sky puts pressure on you. So it ain't like you going to pressure her and she not going to give it back to you.
Oh, defensively, she's
yeah. She talking about 94 feet.
Who's the toughest wing here to defend?
Toughest wing to defend, man.
At Unrivaled.
Outside of myself?
Yes.
Man.
You can give me a top three. Like,
I was about to say, I was like, it can't be one.
Yeah.
I'd probably say on the wing. I'm like going through a Rolodex in my head.
Can I guess one?
Go ahead.
Ryan?
Nah, but she is hard to guard. But from who I've had to like have on the perimeter, you know what? I'm gonna put Ryan in there because that clip is pretty damn fast.
Yeah,
and she got size. Yeah, I'm tripping. No,
okay.
Ryan
Howard?
for sure,
Okay.
one of them. I feel like you put a Rike in there because it's like, bro, come on. That's all the open space she needs to just get off. And then, I'm not going to lie. You could pick any guard off the Owls. They've been pretty consistent.
Alicia Gray.
That's what I'm saying. Leash been cooking. It's crazy because it's a couple people in here where it's like you didn't get to see they bag because they play 5-on-5 and then they get to 3-on-3 and I'm like, all right, K-Mac, where was this? Because that's one person I was just like...
Wait a second. You were caught off guard by Kayla McBride?
Yeah, because you got to think...
She's been doing this all this last season.
But not what we're doing in 3-on-3. Like, dribbling the ball and actually create... Right, but I'm saying, but
Okay.
even, and you can ask her. Because we had this talk when we had the one-on-one conversations. It was like, I was not shocked, but I was like, okay, there's more tools in the bag.
Right.
Because on her team, respectfully, she doesn't have to do all of that.
Right.
She can
snipe.
She can snipe. She can get a pin down. She can get a flare.
Right.
She'll put the ball on the floor to get a pull up or something, but literally to create your own shot, get to the back. I'm not expecting K-Mac, to do that, but like at the same time, I'm like, respect. Like I respect that. Like I was actually like really, really intrigued to see that. Other people, I'm just like, okay, all right, you got some tools, and then it's like, all right, I could see.
So the biggest difference, 5-on-5 versus this 3-on-3 format, is like sometimes 5-on-5 you can shine in a system. You might be able to hide certain weaknesses.
But also the system enhances those that are strong. So you don't know what a weakness is because they're killing you off a pin down or a curl and yeah, you got the scout, but then again, there is 2 more people on the court rather than 3-on-3. So on the defensive end too.
Yeah.
Now you get to see, okay, who has pride in guarding their yard? Who has pride in not letting somebody pick on them because we all know that it's going to be a long night to guard.
Right.
Like, are you going to sit down and be like, you ain't scoring on me? And if you do, it's going to have to be a hard bucket because there are some instances where there is great defense and better offense.
Yeah.
And you just got to take that on the chin sometime.
Are you enjoying the 3-on-3 format? Do you think you shine more here or more in a 5-on-5?
Oh, it don't matter.
Period.
We gonna hoop. It don't matter. We gonna hoop. Yeah. But I mean, obviously for my type of style of play, yeah, 3-on-3 would definitely is more suitable.
Yeah.
Because less space, no help. I can create my own shot. I can get to the basket. I can shoot 3. Like, it's 3 levels of scoring, but also you get 2 ways of playing.
Yeah.
So there's no let off. Most people, they got all the offense in the world, and the defense is questionable.
Yeah.
Ain't no questioning over here. If anything, people probably question my offense, which pisses me off. But
Talk about it, because I feel like for a few years now you've been yelling at people. But I'm a bucket too.
But you know what? And I'm glad you said that because it's like I have to take accountability for that because it's me not going out there and doing that shit consistently. Like I'll do it in spurts, and that's me just figuring out like why am I not figuring out like what's that middle point of like no return. It's like I'll have a flow and then I'll go back and then I'll have a flow again and I'll go back. But I think it's honestly, if I'm just being completely vulnerable and transparent, I think it's me conquering the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual aspect of the whole entire game. Like I'm just in that phase of my life and my career where I need to be able to, yes, I'm angry. Yes, I'm not angry, but like, yes, I'm passionate. Yes, I want to win. But sometimes that can take away from the actual process. And I'm figuring that out. Like I'm seeing it in more ways than not on and off the court. So I feel like once I get to that, I don't have to argue with people. I don't have to yell at people and get them to see my offensive game. I don't have to broadcast it or blast it because it's other people out here. You ain't gotta say nothing. That's the first thing they're talking about is their offense. And then we go to defense and they're like, well.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have any tools that are helping you? Like, do you journal
I journal. I talk to my therapist. I have my village, like my sounding board. But I think it's really going to be me just buckling down and just finding those tools when I get in those spaces, how to get out of them a little bit quicker.
Do you ever get nervous?
Oh, all the time. All the time.
When? Like right before the game?
Yeah, but I also know that there's a difference in nervousness. There's a nervousness that I have where it's like I'm just ready to play and I want to do great, and there's a nervousness I didn't prepare. So I've learned the 2 feelings where it's like, oh, Slim, you feeling nervous? Why? Because you didn't prepare.
Yeah.
You don't feel like you're prepared for this situation. You don't feel like you're prepared for this opportunity. That's on you. And this is me self-talking. And then it's like the other parts where it's like, nah, Slim, you just nervous because you ready to go hoop. Like,
yeah.
You good. You prepared. You did all your work. You did your workouts. You did your treatment, all that. Your routine is set. But it's the other times when I let one thing get me out of my space. Yeah. And then now I'm like, damn, am I ready? Am I going to hit a shot? And I done seen all 36 of these players for years. And I'm sitting up here questioning, can you guard them, Slim? Can you do this? Can you go score against them? When you was getting buckets on them in 5-on-5, so what's the difference? So it's just having that self-talk.
That's been one of the craziest things for me at Unrivaled here. these are the best in the world or the most up and coming or some of the well-known vets of the league and of basketball. And so many players are talking about regaining joy, confidence.
Man.
I'm like, you?
For real. It's a real thing. Like, you don't realize how quick confidence can come and go off of a situation or an instance. I think for me, just building that confidence from being injured.
Yeah.
And then you kind of go into the background and you come back and you think all these eyes are on you, and it's really just you in your own head.
Yeah.
Like, because you got your eyes on your own self and you looking internal, which isn't a bad thing. Yeah. But then you get too deep, and now you can't come out of your own because you're too busy worrying about all the other that hasn't even happened yet.
Yeah. Which is, again, brings us full circle to staying right here.
Right where my feet are.
Right.
Like, literally.
And grateful for this moment.
Yes.
As we wrap this up, I have a question that I feel all the fans are wondering.
Okay.
Why is it so, why are the Lunar Owls so tough? What is it about these hootie? And are y'all tired of them hootie-hooing everywhere?
Oh, man.
Is somebody going to put a stop to this
These walls
stuff?
are very thin. These walls are very thin, let me tell you. Every damn time you just hear a hootie hoot in the damn hallway. No. I think they are successful in their own way, right? They have, and I quote Shakira, they are down-to-earth crash-outs.
What does that even mean?
They're all down-to-earth beings, all cool and delightful, but they all crash out in their own way.
Okay.
So, but no, I just think you got a real nice combo of guards and posts. You got two mobile posts. I call them hybrids, like these type of posts, right? They can shoot, they can move, they're mobile. They're not really traditional back to the basket, but they can still put you back to the basket. Then you got these guards who come in, they can shoot, they can guard, pull up mid-range. Like, usually you get guards who want the three or the layup. You got every guard on that team that can hit 3 levels. It's like, great. Pick your poison.
Right.
But, they're beatable, and they've shown it in some of these close games. But then again, kudos to them because they came out victorious. But I can't say too much on why they're winning. Yeah. But they're winning.
Yeah. I know you're happy to see Shakira healthy.
Hell yeah. Like, past all of this, like, I'm just happy to see people getting back to it, getting healthy. Like you said, like, people getting back to themselves, being happy again to play the sport. Because you could tell, as a competitor, I want my competition to be at their utmost best. Yeah. So whatever they got to do, whatever I got to do to give this product to these fans and everybody who supports us, then so be it.
Yeah. Because game recognized game.
For sure.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
People was coming up to me when I was hurt, and it was like, bro, for real? Like, you still out?
Yeah, the game needs you.
Yeah, I'm like, all right. Yeah. Let me strap up real quick.
Well, you always strap up. You always show up. I appreciate you showing up for us here at Good Follow, for me.
Yes.
But thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right.
I appreciate you.
Welcome back to Good Follow Show, presented by DraftKings. I'm Ros, she's Logan, and we just had a really awesome conversation with Slim, Brittney Sykes. She and the Ros are crushing it over at Unrivaled. So good to just really get to know her and chop it up with her. I really enjoyed that conversation personally. And, now we move from there to some college hoops. You ready, Logan?
Ros, it was so crazy this week. I mean, I think we had 11 upsets, if I'm not mistaken. College hoops as a whole is just this March Madness is going to be absolute madness, and I cannot wait. But one of those games was Juju and USC taking down UCLA for the second game in a row. And with that, they won their first conference title since the Lisa Leslie era in 1994, which is, again, crazy to think about. Big numbers don't make sense in my brain, but that's a pretty good era and pretty long ago. Now, there were so many things I was impressed with in this game, and there were so many viral, clippable moments and things that I love. But what kind of statement do you think USC is making to other teams going into a March Madness that is about to be chaotic?
Yeah, USC has incredible momentum heading into March Madness. They've won 7 in a row now, including some really important top 25 wins, a nice win over Ohio State, 2 huge wins over UCLA. That second one at Pauley Pavilion, at the Bruins, that was one of them loud type of statement wins. It was dominant, and it really, they put their flag on LA. And I think that USC had to do that first before they can put their eyes on the Big Ten tournament and, the NCAA big dance. They now are Big Ten champs. They are accomplishing things. You need some tangible wins, feathers in your cap as you take this walk along the way into March Madness. And they have those that they can hang on to, signature moments. And I also think Juju Watkins made a huge statement. That first game, the 38 points and the 8 blocks, it was super loud. So we figured when, you go to UCLA, they were going to be locked in and kind of quiet her. And instead, Juju seems to be shining at her best, playing at her highest level when the lights are brightest and when the challenge is really big and the odds may even be against her. And it's not just the points she put in. What's impressive to me is that she completely can dominate a game on offense and defense and throughout the stat line. And, earlier in the show, Logan, we were talking about, could there be another player who captivates in the way that Caitlin Cark did? I think we're on track for that. I think team success and individual success as you march through conference tournament into March Madness and as the magnifying glass gets bigger and casuals are starting to watch. And if Juju can continue on this track, I think we could see Juju Mania this season. I think we haven't seen it yet. We have seen nice, respectful commentary about a very nice college player who's doing well at the end of the season. And she's been up and down throughout the season at times. But if Juju continues to capture whatever she's got and put it in a bottle and take this through March into a deep run in the tournament, I guarantee Juju Mania, at the highest level, begins at a level that, she's already got billboards on buildings in the streets. So that's pretty impressive for a sophomore. But I'm talking she could be with what we saw from Caitlin, I think.
Absolutely. I was thinking of other players who had the Caitlin Cark effect. And for some reason, I keep on forgetting that Juju was a sophomore and everything that she's done and kind of led this team. And even the fact that she's on billboards and all over Nike ads that you see, that is so incredibly cool. But in that game, you saw USC kind of come around her. I do want to shout out Avery Howell. Mm-hmm. She had back-to-back threes from the exact same spot with 7 minutes left in the fourth. Absolutely nailed them. And the back half of that game was really telling because Juju put up 23 in the first half, and then the second she put up 7. So that's, oh gosh, I'm really bad at math, but I think 27 points for the rest of the team to get in that back half. And Avery Howell's a freshman, not to mention. So knocking those down late, great for you.
Yeah, it's an important call out. You're not going to go far if you're not going to have team success. It will not just be the Juju show to take them far in the Big Ten or in the NCAA tournament.
Now, another shocking thing that I saw, which doesn't really sit right with me, is the fact that we have co-champions. In the SEC, it was Texas and South Carolina. And then in the ACC, we had Notre Dame and NC State. Now, sharing the title is kind of odd, but in the SEC, they had to do a coin flip for who gets the number 1 seed. It ended up being South Carolina, but I really don't think that this should be a thing anymore. Ros, do you agree?
It's anticlimactic. It's whack. Throw some tomatoes at it. However, the regular season conference championship is only about record. So, if the record is tied, then you are tied for that. Where there is only one champion is in the conference tournament. So that's where you've got to set your sights. But as far as a coin flip, no, that's not exciting. But that is the way it worked out. And so now it's the job of those coaches and for the vets in the locker room to reframe the scenario. Not that they got lucky that South Carolina, a coin flip, decided that they were the 1 seed. No, both of those teams, SC, Texas, they both had to win in order to win their last game in order to be in that situation. So they did in some ways take control of their destiny. And now here they are. New mindset, opportunity to also be positioning yourself for an overall 1 seed.
And I kind of have a prediction that it's going to come down to Texas and South Carolina in that final, which would be Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. But
The drama of it all.
it's actually going to be chaotic. I already have everything in my calendar. I'm like, I'm going to be sat. Nobody text me. Nobody call me. Nobody disturb me. This is time for college basketball.
We will be
But
set.
yes. On the weekend, we also saw Athletes Unlimited come to an end, and we had players like Maddie Siegrist, Odyssey Sims, Crystal Bradford, and Maya Caldwell, who had great seasons finishing 1, 2, 3, 4. So I actually, when I was watching Crystal, one of the days that I went to Athletes Unlimited, she stood out to me. I think it was 3 minutes into the game, and I was already Googling like Crystal Bradford team. And I was shocked to see that she wasn't on a WNBA team. She did sign with the Aces, I believe a training camp contract the day after.
Yeah.
But looking ahead to the W, what should we expect from these players this season?
Yeah, absolutely. I think before we the first player we got to shout out is Maddie Siegrist, right? She is the champion. And for those who are confused by that, like what's happening at Athletes Unlimited, they have a very unique way of scoring. So they don't crown a team champion, they crown an individual champion, and every single player is being scored throughout the season, and every individual moment on the court, every play, every quarter, every rebound shot, it all has points assigned to it, which means that every moment matters, and the player with the most points is crowned champion. So Maddie Siegrist wins the championship. Congrats to her. She's going to be in her third year heading to the WNBA. And I think for her, this is a really nice confidence boost, momentum boost. As she heads back to Dallas, she spent a lot of last season injured, had a finger injury. And now with Satu Sabally not coming back in Dallas, there's going to be opportunity for players to step up. So for a young player, Athletes Unlimited was really valuable for Maddie Siegrist. Odyssey Sims came in second, as you mentioned, Logan. Odyssey last season in the W was splitting time between Dallas and LA, and that is so hard to just pop into a team and be productive, which she still did. So now she has an opportunity to come in off of another strong AU season, start from the beginning with LA, and I think she could be a part of a formidable backcourt and a great support to what Kelsey Plum's going to bring to LA. And then to your point, Crystal Bradford, when I went to Athletes Unlimited, I too was captivated. I was like, who is this fun, loud, amazing, athletic player? And I mean, we know Crystal, she's been in and out of the W. She's had some nice moments. A lot of her career has really been overseas, and she's had a very productive career there. And through AU, she's earned a training camp opportunity with the Las Vegas Aces. And guess what? The Aces need everything that Crystal brings, which is defense and rebounding and energy. Don't forget, the Aces lose Sydney Colson. So another thing that Crystal Bradford brings that I enjoyed meeting her at AU, and I got to speak with her, she's got great vibes. She's funny. She has humor. She's got positive, big energy. You know, all the stuff that fills a locker room with the juice that you need. So I think she's got a great opportunity coming up in the W season. And what you just see from Athletes Unlimited is it really provides, much like Unrivaled is doing, not only competitive play, but a chance to get better, develop your game, and have better opportunities in the W season. And shout out to Athletes Unlimited because they had a record attendance season in Tennessee. They engaged the community. Social media's popping. Like the awareness, the growth is there for the league. They've done a tremendous job and really just want to congratulate AU for an incredible fourth season.
I believe they also just re-signed to be in Nashville for the next few seasons.
Correct.
But Nashville is loving women's basketball. I was in the lounge at one point, and there were two women speaking about how they just love to have this here and be able to watch women's hoops on a daily or weekly basis. And they are pushing for a W team. But just basketball in general is thriving in Nashville, and we love to see it.
Love to see it. But Logan, let's also talk some soccer. The NWSL and Nike have unveiled their new kits for the 2025 season, and we all couldn't wait to see what they would come up with and the creativity in the jerseys. To highlight a few, Angel City FC has an all-over toil pattern featuring beloved LA landmarks and symbols. The KC Currents Teal Town kit features a map view of Kansas City and the Missouri River. That's our girl Temwa. Okay, the Orlando Pride has the decennial kit, which celebrates their 10th season and features a gold star representing them as the reigning champion. So as you can see, there's so many deep storylines and Easter eggs throughout the jerseys. Which team nailed the look? What jersey are you copping?
I feel like I have an unpopular opinion on this, but Chicago has like a liquid metal on black type of look, and I absolutely love it. Black is my color, so like that is a jersey that I would wear on a daily basis. But I honestly think a lot of these teams nailed it. They are so fun, and they tell a story about the city or even the state that the team is in. I also want to shout out to Seattle. Seattle's jersey, beautiful. It has like a little sun coming in. And then San Diego, love their water look that they have going on.
Yeah, I really love Nike has done a nice job of storytelling through the jerseys. I think that just only increases fandom, and pride.
I hate to say it, y'all, but we have to take a break. When we come back, Ros gives her DraftKings pick of the week. So stay tuned.
Welcome back to Good Follow. This segment is presented by DraftKings. And this week, I am looking at a spicy matchup in Unrivaled play happening Friday. It is going to be Team Ros against the Lunar Owls. They're running this thing back. The Owls have been dominant all year. They clinched the #1 overall seed in the playoffs. But if there's one team that can shake them up, it's the Ros. The Ros are the only team to hand the Owls a loss this season. And of course, we know the Ros let everyone hear it. The trash talk was on a million, and so fun. I can't wait to see it happen again. So will history repeat itself? I don't think so. The Owls will be locked in, but the two key players will be the Roses' Chelsea Gray and the Owls' Skylar Diggins-Smith. This is a must-see point guard matchup. I'll tell you why. The point guard, Chelsea Gray, is a floor general with unmatched vision and clutch shot-making ability. She's playing out of her mind. She's coming off of a 26-point, 7 assists, 5 rebound, 4 steal, 1 block game, and the game winner. And the game before that, 38 points. She's hot, hot, hot. Skylar Diggins-Smith is a dynamic scorer and relentless playmaker, and she's super clutch too. Her last game, she had a near triple-double and dropped 25 points, 11 assists, 7 rebounds, 3 steals, and the game winner. And guess what? Sky and Chelsea are both tied with 5 game-winning shots in Unrivaled play. I expect high energy, physical play, a whole lot of chirping and talking. Families will be fed, y'all. I will be sat. Logan will be sat. This game is a must watch. Logan, this segment is presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Can you see I'm so excited for this matchup?
You got me so hyped up. I'm here like, okay, yes, like I'm about to get to my calendar.
I know. Okay, wait. But we still have more to the show, girl. So we can move from this into like key headlines and notes and all the things we didn't get to. Take me through it.
We had a sad moment. Naomi Girma had her start at Chelsea, and it was all eyes were on her. Everyone was super excited, and then she got injured. So wishing her well. I don't think it's super bad, but awful to get injured in your first start at Chelsea.
Yeah, and like I said, all eyes are going to be on you when you get that kind of money, and then the injury happens. That's unfortunate. Heal up
Exactly.
soon.
But we also saw a WNBA and NWSL crossover, which is super cool. Sabrina Ionescu joined BFC as an investor and commercial advisor. I don't really know what a commercial advisor does, but it sounds like a very big role.
Yes, it sounds perhaps like a paid role. Go, Sabrina.
And actually with Sabrina, we have Serena, which I'm so excited about. She was announced as an owner of the Toronto Tempo, and she'll actually have a hand in like making the jerseys and merch collaboration, which I cannot wait. It was honestly a shock for everyone. I have no clue how it didn't get leaked, but Serena is in Toronto.
Yeah, and also if you see her wearing that Tempo sweater, that's Playa Society as well. So, I mean, the merch game is happening. We love to see it. The girls are moguls. The girls are moguls, Logan.
And last one, which we also love to see. Wow, we're all just killing it this week. Brittney Clark landed the Biles 1 in competition this week. And there's actually a video of her seeing, I believe it was Simone's reaction to her landing it. And it's the cutest thing. She's like, oh my God, she knows who I am. I was freaking out. But landing the Biles 1 is insane. I want to be a gymnast in my next life.
Yeah, me too. I would love to just be excellent like all these athletes. I'd love to be excellent like you, Logan.
I want to be excellent like you. I've been learning so much from you this whole time, and I absolutely love it.
Oh, you're like my little sis. I'm taking you under my wing. and we're doing this together. And that'll be a nice way to end today's show. We want to make sure to thank Brittney Sykes for pulling up for a one-on-one interview. We want to thank all of you for watching, subscribing. If you haven't yet, press it, do it. And also following us on social media at Good Follow Show. We drop every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Thank you for rocking with us. She's Logan. I'm Ros. We'll see you next week, right?
Absolutely. Bye, guys.